of like if you own your own home, you can take equity out and yes, buy another property. And if the numbers stack up and you do it right, like you use us to help you buy it, then you are going to be better off financially in the long run. Now, that's with a home. But let's talk about it from a lens of a investor. Say somebody that is a rent investor that's like trying to wrap their head around like, okay, cool. So if I bought a property for $450,000 and it's worth $800,000, and they're like, all right, I've got $350,000 there in sort of equity, I guess. Is that correct? Like, it depends on what their loan is, right? So say their loan is like, say their loan was like 300 or it's 350, right? And they bought a $450,000 property. That means they've probably got like, I don't know, $450,000 in equity, right?
Yeah, I'm getting lost in the numbers, man.
Yeah.
But there's equity and then there's a available equity. That's just the coin that I throw out.
Let's break down that then. Let's break down what equity is there versus available equity.
Well, it's the 80%, so you can draw that out. So if you've got, so in that example, $1 million is the asset value. Your equity is $400,000 because you've got $600,000 in debt. But your available equity is $200,000 because you're pulling that out on an 80% loan to value ratio.
So, for example, let's just say somebody buys a property for $400,000, right? And they use they've got $300,000 in debt. Yeah, and then that property increases value from $400,000 to $800,000. Now, what is their available equity? What's their equity, and then what's their available equity?
So $300 in debt.
$300 debt, $400 property price when they first bought it, and it's worth now $800,000.
Oh yeah, $800,000. You got $500,000 in available equity, and then you go, all right, the property's worth $800,000. What's 80% of $800,000 minus 160 off 800? You're looking at $640. So $640 available debt. You've got $300,000 in debt, so you've got $340,000 in available equity.
Okay, so you did 80% of the 800. And that was the debt that you would have at 80% LVR. Okay, and that left you with 340 in available equity.
Yeah, and you've got $500,000 in equity in that sense, because you've got the debt at 300, value is 800. This is generally why I like using round numbers.
Yeah, this is good. This is good because I'm still like I just want to conceptualize this for everyone.
Yeah.
So say that again.
So in this example, $800,000 in asset value.
Yeah.
You got your debt at $300,000.
Yes.
Fantastic. So 800 minus 300 is 500,000 in equity.
Okay.
In available equity, in my term, if you go to that 80% loan to value ratio, you're going, well, an asset's worth 800,000. What's 80% of 800,000? For me, I sit there and go, well, that's, as I said, 640,000 because you go, it's 160 is 20% of 800,000, so that's 640 plus your 60 gives you that 700 plus the extra 100 gives you 800.
Okay, so it's 640 in debt that you can go up to.
Yeah, so you go, okay, cool, Mr. Lender, this is my asset, it's my investment property, it's worth $800,000. I want to pull some equity out. Let's go to the 80% loan to value ratio. What does that actually allow me to do? They'll run the figures based on your household.
You speak to your mortgage broker for this or your bank, right?
100%. Yeah. And you ask them, they'll get your tax returns, cash flows, income, outgoings, and then they'll go, yep, Jared, you can service debt up to $640,000.